Human rights and social justice provisions. Strengthening protection for indigenous communities and their lands, ensuring the rights of indigenous peoples in the Constitution and relevant laws, ensuring they are recognized as distinct communities with specific rights to their ancestral lands and resources. Ratify and implement international agreements such as the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, UNDRIP, to ensure compliance with global standards. Establish mechanisms that ensure indigenous peoples are consulted and involved in decision-making processes regarding land issues. Natural resource management and development projects that affect their communities. Implement measures that recognize and protect indigenous titles, ensuring that indigenous communities have legal ownership and control over their ancestral lands. This means by strengthening protection for indigenous communities and their lands, it will be essential for promoting human rights and social justice. It would involve recognizing their rights, preserving their cultural heritage, and ensuring their voices are heard in decision-making processes that affect their lives and territories. Next, comprehensive land reform measures to aid marginalized communities. Enact laws that explicitly recognize the rights of marginalized communities to land, prioritizing land reform as a fundamental human right. Implement land redistributions programs that target marginalized groups such as farmers, indigenous peoples, and landless workers, providing them with access to arable land. Encouraging sustainable agriculture practices among marginalized communities through training and technical assistance, ensuring long-term productivity and environmental health. By implementing comprehensive land reform measures, it would be crucial for supporting marginalized communities and ensuring equitable access to land and promoting social justice. Next, new provisions in ensuring sustainable development and climate resilience. First, integrating sustainability into policy frameworks. Align national and local policies with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, ensuring that all development initiatives consider social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Second, promoting renewable energy and resource efficiency. Introduce tax breaks, grants, and subsidies for businesses and households that invest in renewable energy source such as solar, wind, and geothermal. Lastly, enhancing climate resilience in infrastructure. Require all new infrastructure projects to incorporate climate resilient measures such as flood defense, heat-resistant materials, and sustainable drainage systems. By incorporating new provisions to ensure sustainable development and climate resilience, it is essential for addressing the challenges posed by climate change and fostering a sustainable future. Next, new provisions for a modernized constitution. Bill of Responsibilities. A Bill of Responsibilities can serve as a complement to the Bill of Rights, emphasizing the duties and obligations of citizens to promote a balanced and harmonious society. It would outline the responsibilities individuals have to their community, government, and the environment. Here's a proposed framework for such a bill. Preamble. Article 1. Responsibilities to the community. Basically, it's for fostering community well-being, promotes inclusivity and respect, engages in civic duties. For Article 2, responsibilities to the environment. Protect natural resources, combat climate change, promote environmental stewardship. For Article 3, responsibilities to one another. It's to support one another, encourage education and knowledge sharing, and practice tolerance and understanding. Article 4, responsibilities to future generations. It's to ensure a sustainable future, preserve a cultural heritage, advocate for equitable opportunities. Article 5, accountability. Hold each other accountable, report violations, and promote transparency and integrity. Next. For digital governance. To adapt to the evolving landscape of technology and governance, incorporating provisions for digital governance and cybersecurity measures into a modernized constitution is essential. These provisions can enhance government efficiency, promote transparency, and protect citizen rights in the digital realm. Here's a framework proposed. Preamble. Then Article 1, e-governance platforms. Inside this is establishment of e-governance, right to access information, user-centric design, integration of digital securities, promotion of digital literacy. For Article 2, cybersecurity measures, right to digital privacy, establish of cybersecurity standards, incident response protocol, public awareness campaigns, collaboration with private sectors. For Article 3, data protection and governance. It's basically data protection. 3, data protection and governance. Data protection rights, establishment of data protection authority, transparency in data usage, concept consent-based data sharing. For Article 4, accountability and oversight, establishment of an e-governance oversight committee, regular audits and evaluations, and public reporting and transparency. Next. National disaster preparedness and climate resilience. Incorporating provisions for national disaster preparedness and climate resilience into a modernized constitution is essential for safeguarding lives, protecting property, and ensuring sustainable development in the face of increasing climate-related challenges. Here's a proposed framework for such provisions. Preamble. Article 1, National Disaster Preparedness. It's the right to safety and security, establishment of a national disaster management framework, community-based disaster preparedness, regular drills and training, emergency response resources. For Article 2, climate resilience, right to a healthy environment, integration of climate change into national policies, investment in climate resilient infrastructure, sustainable land use and resource management, community engagement in climate action. For Article 3, research, education, and innovation, it's to support for research and innovation, public education and disaster preparedness and climate change, and training programs for professionals. For Article 4, accountability and oversight, establishment of a National Disaster Resilience Authority, monitoring and evaluation mechanisms, reporting requirements. And lastly, Article 5, international cooperation, commitment to international agreements, and engagement with global networks. Next. Conclusion and call to action. The summary. Addressing corruption. Strengthening oversight bodies like the Ombudsman and the Commission of Audit by granting them greater autonomy and resources, implementing mandatory public financial disclosures, and enhancing freedom of information, or FOI, laws will promote transparency and accountability. Second, improving electoral processes. Reforming systems to tackle issues such as vote buying and political dynasties, and considering hybrid electoral systems for better representation, ensuring transparency in campaign financing and voting processes is crucial to restoring public trust in elections. And lastly, enhancing public engagement. Promoting citizens' assemblies and digital platforms for public feedback and on policies, alongside e-governance initiatives, will foster active citizen participation in governance. Next.